So based on the previous presentation, since you have understood the Sachivalayam system in Andhra Pradesh, it was serving both services and also schemes for the citizens. So regarding the schemes part, we have one particular platform called as BEAMS, Beneficiary Information and Management System, in which we collate all the data of the citizens and give out schemes based on some specific criteria. So previously, what used to happen, a brief understanding on the previous timeline was that departments used to give out schemes based on their own criteria. So every department had their own criteria and their own database. So there was duplication of databases, citizens, and there was mismatch of some information also. So there was no centralization of information for deduplication and generating unique IDs. So after this system of Gram Sachivalayams was implemented, it became very easy for us to identify duplicates and have a unique ID for the citizen to give out services and also schemes. So BEAMS is a output of that system. So BEAMS is a comprehensive, configurable and scalable, robust technology that Andhra Pradesh government has built for itself to provide universal and non-discriminatory delivery of all the government schemes that the state government and also for some of the schemes that central government is providing. So if we give some inputs to this system, like the age, gender, and different criteria, it would generate an output on who are all the eligible citizens and who are all not eligible based on the criteria. So every department provides the criteria for which the scheme has to be delivered to Gram Sachivalayam department, and based on the system of BEAMS, we generate an eligible list and ineligible list, which will be given out for social audit and for citizens' feedback on the correctness. Generally, the system will give out 99% of the correct information, even while going for social audit. So what are the objectives of BEAMS? While building this whole system for schemes based on the Sachivalayam system, we had this following objectives. So we wanted all the decisions to be made on data-driven model instead of the normal model that is taken up without backed up by proper data. And then we wanted to reduce inclusion and exclusion errors on the field. And we went on a saturation mode in terms of schemes. No eligible citizen should be left out of providing the schemes. And then rapid operationalization of these schemes. That means basically whenever the government wants to improve a specific scheme for some community or some group of communities, BEAMS helps us to deliver those schemes within a matter of 10 days. Because all the departmental data is centralized through API system using technology here at GSWS. So whenever a decision needs to be made, we generally complete that in a matter of few days. And then improving citizen experience. So the citizen can see his eligibility and ineligibility just sitting at his house, or through using the Sachivalayam system. He can go to the volunteers and ask. And then awareness about the schemes is also done through different apps, citizen outreach program and beneficiary outreach program. So this is the workflow. I'll just explain you normally, wherein we already have a citizen database for all the citizens. So whenever a scheme is rolled out, we put it into the BEAMS, and based on the criteria, if let's say the scheme is being generated for females from age of 45 to 60, we have an output of eligible beneficiaries in a matter of few days based on the BEAMS system. So we generally deliver the scheme pretty fastly. So this is the flow. So initially the list is made and then it goes for social audit. It is kept in the Sachivalayam system for any citizen feedback. And if there are no feedbacks and no corrections in the system, the money is sent to the beneficiary account using Aadhaar-based payment system after taking eKYC of the citizen. That is for proper authentication that his account can be credited based on his consent. So this is the functional architecture of BEAMS that I wanted to explain. So basically from all the departments, we fetch the data through APIs. We don't have any manual interventions here. All the data is real time. Whatever the data is corrected at the department, we fetch through API. Whenever we are generating a scheme, real live data comes from the So the benefits of beams are also seen here. We can manage the beneficiaries, and then scheme eligibility can be checked real time. The application management for all the schemes in the state, nearly 32 plus DBT schemes in the state are managed through this, and till now more than 50,000 crores have been disbursed based on this system. And then scheme discovery. If you input your Aadhaar, what are all the schemes that you can be benefited in this state can be shown through this system. And whatever payments are done to your Aadhaar based payment system, that also can be shown. And the unique aspect is regarding the grievance redressal. So if some person has a grievance that because of some criteria he was lost, a service can be taken up directly in this portal, which redirects to AP Seva portal in Sachivalayam system, and then his grievance can be redressed immediately. So as you can see, the data exchange happens from the payments database of the banks, beneficiary registry, which is with us, the grievance database, which is with the AP Seva portal, and the different departmental databases. And if there are any other unique IDs generated in the state, that also interacts with our data layer here. And so these are the different things we are checking while generating a scheme. If he has 1,000 square feet in an urban area, if his land holding for his family is 3 acres of wetland or 10 acres of dry land, if it is more than that, he will be made ineligible. He shouldn't have a car, and he should not be an income tax payee, and electricity consumption should be less than 300 units, and he should not be a government job holder. So, and if there are any other criteria, demographic criteria that the home departments want. So this is the criteria that we are checking for every scheme. So we have made it centralized. Also, we have made it neutral. So this base thing applies to everyone, and everybody can check this all throughout the year. If there is any problem, they will approach the department and it will be changed at the department end, and we'll get it through API. The information will be updated real time. So once a citizen enters his Aadhaar, so this is how it will be shown. So his name, his age, and in what criteria is he satisfied, or what criteria is he unsatisfied. So in this particular case, this is for females who are between 45 to 60 years. That is why in the age criteria, she is unsatisfied. So this scheme, particular scheme, will not be given to that lady. So very reliable and very much citizen centric. Whenever they want to check, even the scheme calendar is also given 1 year beforehand. So whenever the scheme is about to come, they can check this. And if there is a grievance for them also, they can raise. So previously, before beams, what was there, and after beams, what was there, this is the thing. So previously it was manual entry for every scheme. There was no unique ID, even Aadhaar was existing, but based on Aadhaar, not everything was being generated. So all the things have changed post beams. So we wanted to also show how much of coverage is happening because of this system. So now we have 32 DBT and non-DBT schemes. Nearly 81% of the population in Andhra Pradesh, 4.1 crore people have benefited already. There is no paper and manual process here. Everything is completely digitized. And the annual maintenance cost has decreased by 55% because all the departments go through the central department only. There is a very less annual maintenance cost for the departments also. And then there are 4 different channels through which they can apply for this. And average taken time for completing a transaction to apply for a scheme has gone to less than 10 minutes. And if there are any issues also, it gets redressed in 8 hours because it's just a technical solution that we can provide based on whatever data is available with the departments. So these are the value added components. We have grievance redressal, live grievance redressal, redressing within that day itself. And then we have service delivery through various channels, through Sachivalayams, through volunteers, through online, and everything is digitized. And eligibility calculator is given to the citizen at any point of time. And we have Aadhaar based payments so that nobody is missed and so that no one claims that the wrong person has been credited with the money. Thank you. So I'll be happy to clarify if I have missed anything.
Very good initiative, sir. But by the way, over how much period you have developed this information system?
Sir, we have started from 2019 when this government has formed in Andhra Pradesh. So we have built it by 2020 June. So from that point of time, we have been evolving because eKYC comes over a period of time. For every scheme, there is a particular set of citizens who does eKYC. So we have been maintaining that database, and now nearly we have 81% of the citizens covered under this.
For example, in case of PDS,
Yeah.
okay, subsidized food grains are provided.
Yes.
Do you have any feedback that you have eliminated a number of people who were above poverty line, and
Yes, sir. We have
save?
the data for that also. Right now, while applying for any new rice card, this 6-step eligibility calculator runs.
Okay.
And any transaction they want to do, any member addition or any member deletion in their family, any service you have to do on rice card, they have to go through 6-step calculator shown here. And only if they are satisfied in all these and they are deemed BPL category, only then their rice card will be active. Otherwise, it will be made inactive. So every month while taking rice also, eKYC happens.
So it means you have saved a lot of resources and directed to the targeted beneficiary.
Correct, sir. Even for pensions, we are using the same thing. Even for house sites for BPL category also, we are using the same scheme now. Same 6-step eligibility calculator we are running on everyone.
Good. That is why you can better target your beneficiaries.
Correct, sir.
Thank you very much. Good effort.
Sir, simply by computerization, the system does not improve in itself.
Correct,
so you have tried to integrate various parameters through your computerization. So this is a normal and routine activity of any government department to improve the system. So what is innovative in this so that you should be considered for the award?
Sir, I think all the governments have been trying to do this for good amount of time now. We could achieve this basing on the technology developments that has happened now based on the real-time data. And the best thing that could happen was the losses that we could recover from inclusion and exclusion errors. So we could digitize the whole thing. Now we can definitely map who is the citizen who is going to take that scheme and who is not eligible. We can directly say that we could whatever the schemes are being generated, we also calculated how much of losses we have stopped based on this system. So
Okay.
it runs into few thousands of crores. I think whatever all the governments are trying to achieve for a period of time in the last decade, we could try to do that in a digitized way now. With no manual interventions. There is no human intervention here to decide who is eligible.
Okay, good enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we met in the morning as well. So this is another presentation from our department. So just a small request, like before explaining this, as I explained GSWS model in the morning as well, should I be explaining that? If participants are same, I'll just move directly to the service part.
Sir, there is new jury member, na? So you have to just little bit explain about the previous one, na?
Sure.
You can just carry on.
So I'll just take 5 minutes to explain the GSWS model. So this is a new model that has been created and fully executed by the current government. And this idea is based on a very simple notion that to run a state, to run a country, normally in India as well as in other parts of the world as well, we have a system of secretariat where there is one chief secretary along with all the secretaries, secretary education, secretary health, secretary planning, etc., to run the state, to run the governance, to run and deliver all the government schemes, services to the citizens and to meet the demands of the citizens' requirements. So same model, if it is implemented at the village level, could be revolutionary. That was the idea and mindset behind bringing up this model by the current government and by the current Honorable CM sir. So they brought this model of one secretariat for 2,000 people in rural areas and one secretariat for 4,000 people in the urban areas. So if we see the total population, it comes out to be 15,000 secretariats across rural and urban areas, with 11,162 in rural and 3,842 in the urban areas, which are called as village and ward secretariats respectively. With every secretariat, we attached 10 functionaries in urban and 11 functionaries in rural areas, from various departments. So these departments are the topmost departments where citizens are affected or in a positive way on daily basis, like education, agriculture, survey, revenue, A&M, health department, then police department. So there are 10 functionaries and 11 functionaries in urban and rural areas respectively, who deliver almost 540 services of 34 departments. So it's a one-stop center. So any one person sitting in a village will have to approach this Sachivalayam and he'll get the required service that he or she is demanding. Next. So before going to the next slide, I would also like to explain the concept of volunteer. So along with every secretariat, we have got 15 to 20 volunteers attached to them. This volunteer concept is based on a household. For every 50 household, 50 to 70 household in rural area, we have around one volunteer, and for every 80 to 100 households in urban area, we have another one volunteer. So like that, across Andhra, we have got 2.68 lakh volunteers who are working right now, along with 15,000 secretariats where 10 functionaries are there, which counts to a number of 1.5 lakh. So 1.5 lakh functionaries plus 2.68 lakh volunteers work together to deliver all the services. And this is done 100% in the online mode. So there is next slide. So these are the three ways of delivering services right now in Andhra. The kiosk model is the earlier model. Village and ward secretariats is the current model. And online model is also something that we started long ago. So Andhra has been a forerunner as far as delivery of services in online mode is considered. Since 1998 or so, government of Andhra is working on that. So in village and ward secretariats, we have got one portal called as AP Seva portal, which is operated, and there is another portal called as Navsega Beneficiary Management portal. These are two portals for services and schemes respectively, which is operated by digital assistant. Digital assistant is basically the person who handles all the IT related work in the Sachivalayam. And these are all freshly recruited through exams, and they are well graduated. Maybe some are BTech, some are even PhDs, and they are from the nearby areas only. So they have been given these permanent government jobs. Next. So AP Seva portal has all the services available within it. So a citizen sitting at home will tell his volunteer, I want, for example, I want mutation service. So his volunteer will tell, okay, come with me to the secretariat. Secretariat is also within that citizen's reach only, since it is in the village only, that building where 10 people are sitting. He'll just go there and he'll tell the digital assistant that I want this the mutation service to be applied. The concerned digital assistant will take the basic details and he will fill the details and he will submit the application form. That application form will in turn go to the VRO, the village revenue officer. If it is something related to agriculture, it will go to agriculture assistant. If it is related to some blood testing or some kind of health related Arogya Shri card or anything like that, it will go to A&M. So concerned functionary will get the service through DA, and then they will start acting or start working on that. So it is, and load will also be very limited, because for every functionary, he has to cater only those 2,000 people. He need not cater a large chunk of population, unlike in the erstwhile model where we had everything at the tehsil level. So he is able to cater all the services based on some SLAs. There are service level agreements and there are sub SLAs. For example, I will tell to a citizen that if you apply for mutation, I will get your mutation done in 30 days. That is my guarantee. Within that 30 days, which person will take how much time, that also I will define. Okay, digital assistant has to take application in 1 day. VRO has to process in 7 days. Deputy Tehsildar has to do it in 10 days and Tehsildar has to do it in 5 days. And then approval has to come back and citizen should get the service within another 6-7 days. So this is how we track it. So any person sitting on the ground have the facility to track his application number as well. So he can actually see that, okay, it is pending with VR, or it is pending with RI, or it is pending with Tehsildar. So he can track his own service request as well. So this kind of system is found very rarely, because normally what happens, every department have their own portals. In most of the states you will see, but here we have got this one-stop solution. Next, previous ones you can show. Yeah. So as we told that why, and now the question arises of why we have got so many people on the ground. So idea was very simple, that person in a village may not be able to do everything by himself. So there has to be some kind of assistance to him. And assistance should be in the form of IT assistance or in form of documentation assistance, all of them are available there only. And ultimately, our idea is to move from e-Seva to M-Seva. So in next 10 days or so, we are opening this portal to public also. So those who can operate from home, they can operate from home as well. So it is not something that they have to come to Secretariat only. Next. So there is a call center located in Visakhapatnam where they can just call up and they can ask why their application is pending, how much time it will take, and they can raise their tickets also. And accordingly, the action will be raised in the logins of the concerned officer. Next. So in this main thing is that we are using Aadhaar number as a unique ID. So Aadhaar number also we are taking by the consent with OTP. We are asking the citizen whether he is okay to give his Aadhaar number, so that tomorrow in our system, we know that based on this Aadhaar number, this land was mutated, or this rice card was taken, or this Arogyashri card was taken, so that there are no duplications in further. It ultimately makes our data also super sanitized. We also know that, okay, this particular data is well captured, and it is like we know that this person has applied already last year or before that. So there is no possibility of duplication or exclusion or inclusion errors. We will always know about the history. Next. So these are some of the SLAs that we have given for some of the major services like that, trade license, property tax, death certificate, etc., etc. Next. So this is the dashboard. This is open to public. So we can actually go to any district, click on the district, click on the pending beyond SLA module. We can go and find out exactly in which secretariat, which functionary is not working. Sitting in Vijayawada, sitting at headquarters, I can see this dashboard and I can find out exactly which are the top 3 functionaries, top 3 people in my state who are not delivering services on time. And I can directly call them, or I can summon them, or I can send a notice to them. So it is something that even they also know that we are being monitored at the highest level. It is not like that they can just escape the regular routine work. They have to do it within SLA. So to our surprise and to everybody's surprise, in Andhra as of now, 99.9% of the services are delivered within SLA only. Because SLAs are also set as per it's practical SLA. It's not something that is out of the ratio. It's not something that for the work we need 20 days and we have given only 5 days. No, we have given 21 days only. So it has been decided by talking to the people on the ground only, to the official only, that how much time you will take to do it in a normal manner, and accordingly we have decided the SLAs. That's why we have got SLAs almost 0 in all the services, and this is being reviewed by respected Chief Secretary sir every week. Every week's Thursday VC is there where they review all these SLAs. So it is always 0 across the state. Next. So these are our future plans. We will integrate, we are doing already integration with DigiLocker so that people can directly download the certificates in their mobile and keep it safe. It is like a bank account of certificates for them. So, and then we are integrating with WhatsApp also. So when a person applies for the service, he enters his WhatsApp number and he has to just apply sitting at home that this is my name and these are my documents and please I want income certificate or caste certificate. All the inquiry will be done and the certificate will come back to his mobile. And same is done in AP Seva portal. And we are also starting a service of WhatsApp chatbot whereby a person will simply, it's like other applications like Swiggy, Zomato and all. Similarly, we are getting this service for the people where they can just apply for the service through WhatsApp only. They need not even go to the portal or to Secretariat. So we have ensured that those who need the assistance of government person, employee, to help him get the service, those who don't have smartphone, they can go to Secretariat through volunteers. Those who are well versed with the smartphone and the portal thing, they can use the portal. Those who are in the middle, who cannot use portal and who also don't want to go to Secretariat, they have this chatbot service. So we have tried to cover every citizen, every category of citizen who needs service in some or the other form. So this is what we mean by when we call that e-Seva through GSWS. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. In fact, this is the real benefit of Digital India mission, which was launched by IT Ministry long back. It is an excellent work, and you have covered almost every citizen with every education profile and skills. It is very good. Excellent work, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No specific question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. to everybody and respected jury. I am Ramesh. I am presenting Jagannath Todu created lights in the lives of the Chiruvaparlu, that is street vendors in Andhra Pradesh. We know about the street vendors. We are seeing and come across. They are nearby us, nearby our house, nearby at street corners, everywhere we are finding. But we know they are suffering from working capital. That's why these street vendors are petty business person, are traditional handicrafts persons who are depend on their lively wage and business. Definitely, they have to meet the working capital, and they need working capital ranging from the 2,000 to 5,000 or 4,000 like that. But whereas they are taking this amount from the money lenders or local vendors and paying the interest ranging from the 3 to 10% per day, not per month or per year. So that's why whatever they earn, they are paying what that earned amount paying as interest to the money lenders. That's why they're always in the debt cycle or vicious cycles. In order to improve the incomes of the small business persons, street vendors, traditional organized persons, government aimed to bring them into organized system and discouraged depending on the unorganized system, and introduced Jagannath Todu scheme and extended financial assistance through banks up to 10,000 rupees. And the entire interest amount also will be paid by the government. The government recognized the problems of the street vendors and traditional artisans getting working capital and doing their business. They are also facing problem after getting the working capital. They are also facing the problems doing their business. They need some protection and recognition for doing that. And that's why government introduced this scheme not only in urban areas and rural areas also. Especially those who are in street vendors in rural areas, they are facing much problem of working capital than the urban areas. The entire interest also reimbursing to the business, these beneficiaries once in 6 months. And my government, the aim of the government is to give much priority to the women, backward classes, scheduled tribes, scheduled castes, and these neglected sectors. Whatever the challenges we faced, the identification of beneficiaries and bringing them into formal sector, it is one of the challenges we faced, and difficult to bring financial discipline among the beneficiaries. That is also challenge we face. And banks also prescribed huge documentation to extend the loans. That is also we faced one challenge. The other major challenge we faced, that is in Andhra Pradesh, government is extending nearly 34 schemes, welfare schemes. All are DBT except Jagannath Todu. And these beneficiaries demanded and insisted the government who convert it as a DBT and grant. That is also we convinced them. And encourage these, after taking the loan, encouraging these beneficiaries to repay their EMIs and pay their installments on time. That is also one of the challenges, and we face it from the banks, that is. And to pay interest, data collection from the banks, and we have to pay the interest to the persons who repaid their amount on time. So for that, we have to collect the data from the banks for reimbursement of interest to eligible beneficiaries. That is also one of the challenges we faced. So how do we overcome these challenges? And we created awareness among the street vendors, business person, traditional artisans through village ward secretariats. There are 15,004 village ward secretariats we have. Through village ward secretariats, we have created awareness. We identified and guided all these beneficiaries about the Jagannath Todu scheme and utilized the financial assistance and use for working capital. And posters also published and displayed in all village ward secretariats. And this is one side of other side. From banker side, we requested the state level bankers committee to approve the Jagannath Todu scheme guidelines and direct the bankers to implement the scheme. And in addition to this is one time came, suddenly it came, the scheme, lakhs of application scheme. Bankers also, they need some staff. That's why we directed our volunteers and our welfare and education assistants to assist the bankers in in completion of the loan documentation. And moreover, there are two organizations in government of Andhra Pradesh. One is the Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty in rural areas. Other is Mission for Elimination of Poverty in municipal areas. These two organizations are very well versed to tackle the banks and converge with the banks. That's why we requested them to implement this scheme in rural areas, urban areas respectively. And one portal also developed for this from starting to until sanctioning of the loans by the banks. That's why we have seamless data we can receive. The Jagannath Todu is one of the best schemes to extend financial assistance to the street vendors or traditional handicapped persons who are living especially in rural areas. And the interest also repaid to all eligible persons once in 6 months. And GSW's department has issued ID cards for all Jagannath Todu beneficiaries for identification of doing business and for protection from the local, municipal and police authorities. And moreover, we conducted an impact study assessment on the scheme. And the report revealed that 94% of the street vendors and traditional artisans felt that it is very effective scheme in helping their business survival, especially during the COVID pandemic period. And this scheme supported 80% of the women, 53% of backward classes, 21% scheduled tribes and 4% 21% scheduled caste and 4% scheduled tribe beneficiaries. Those are involved in the street vending. From other side, government also exempted the stamp duty on loan agreement and hypothecation of agreement to the Jagannath Todu beneficiaries. And our department also requested the bankers not to impose any inspection charges for inspection of the these business units. Scalability and replicability of the scheme. The government thought it is one of the best schemes for assisting these street vendors, petty business persons and traditional artisans for their working capital needs. And our department also engaged Messrs. Dun & Bradstreet, an eminent organization, to conduct the impact study on Jagannath Todu with an aim to strengthen the scheme further and duly rectifying the defects in implementation, if any defects are there. And Honorable Chief Minister also continuously extending his support in implementation of the scheme, and he instructed to enhance the loan amount from 10,000 to 11,000. After paying the 11,000 to 12,000, after paying that amount 13,000, like that, we have to continuously support these street vendors. He instructed the same thing. We requested the SLBC, and SLBC also agreed to enhance and recommended to the banks to enhance the loans who repaid the amount promptly. And banks also given encouragement to street vendors, and they are renewing the loans. So far, we extended benefit nearly 20 lakh 11,000 people. Out of 20 lakh 11,000, 15.03 are unique lakh beneficiaries are unique beneficiaries, and 5.07 lakhs are renewal beneficiaries. And we are extending the and support to the especially marginal people, SCs, STs, BCs and women beneficiaries. And And moreover, we involved not only banks and Srinidhi, one cooperative organization run by the self-help groups, women self-help groups, that also we involved to extend the financial support and working capital to the street vendors. And government also now and then promptly paying the interest. Is definitely it will be every 6 months and without any delay, and exempted the stamp duty and exempted the inspection charges. So all these helped them to do their businesses in better way and earn more amount than the previous. Yes, bankers also agree now. Higher level of finance also they will extend in future for working capital, and we want to involve more number of beneficiaries and assisting the in expanding beneficiaries business, duly imparting financial literacy by the SERP and MEPMA. We requested them to conduct the impart the trainings to the all these beneficiaries on financial literacy, and awareness also created through pamphlets and motivated through volunteers to pay promptly all these EMIs and not to in debt trap by taking loans from the money lenders and loan sharks. And more marketers will be created to Yetukopaka toys, Kondapalli toys, leather puppets, and Bobbili Veenas, brass craft articles, etc., produced by traditional artisans, and ensure to assist more number of backward classes, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, duly creating awareness with an aim they should not fall in debt trap again. And the scheme was launched first time by the Honorable Chief Minister on 25th November 2020. So far, we covered 20 lakh beneficiaries. Out of 20 lakh beneficiaries, 15 lakhs are unique beneficiaries, 5 lakhs are beneficiaries who renewed
Sir, sorry to
their
interrupt you. You have another 1 minute.
No problem. Yes. Interest also reimbursed so far 48.48 crores to these beneficiaries. And these are the some snapshots. Special Chief Secretary Sri Aizin sir, Honorable Chief Minister Jagannath Reddy Garu, and Honorable PR and RD Minister Ramchandra Reddy Garu, all some of the dignitaries visited the stalls, Jagannath Todu stalls. This is the smart ID card issued by the GSWS department. Thank you.
Very good projects, sir. In fact, these simple and humble steps are definitely needed to support these artisans and small vendors. Definitely, it will go a long way in helping them. And there is not much financial impact on the government also. I hope that they are also repaying their loan amount faithfully to the banks, since it is linked with the more increment, 11,000, 12,000 and 15,000 ultimately. Definitely, these people will not default. Excellent work, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, don't you think that making cooperative is better idea than providing direct subsidy to the street vendors?
Yes, this is at present individuals we have taken, and moreover we are reimbursing the interest on 10,000, and later in future we may think about this making them in a cooperative way and extending the financial assistance and assist them for doing their business in a better way. That is a future thought.
Okay, how long you are operating?
Even our organization is a 3 years baby. It is started from the government issued orders on 29th May 2020, nearly 2.5 years.
2.5 years. So I will suggest you to convert your operation into cooperative operation. Otherwise, you will keep on doing the same thing.
Sure, sure.
Providing subsidized loan is okay, but in a longer run, the government keep on supporting street vendors. They will never be able to sustain themselves. Anyway, good enough. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You are audible.
Yeah, so here we are discussing about YSR Bima. It's a scheme like a group insurance coverage for all the BPL families given at free of cost to Andhra Pradesh state in the Andhra Pradesh state. So so why do we need this scheme? It's not working.
Take the keyboard. Yashwant, take the keyboard. Just take the keyboard and push back. I think it is. Just take the keyboard.
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah, so why do we need a scheme? Why YSR Bima, a group insurance coverage is needed for the people? While we are trying to understand, we understood that there is a primary breadwinner who might be succumb to any kind of death or disability, where the primary breadwinner of the family may not be able to earn for the people, for their family members. So to mitigate their loss, to reduce their financial loss and all, we are trying to provide a scheme to all the BPL families who are there across the state. So we identified 1.21 crore BPL families who are present across the state, and we have given the scheme at free of cost. These insurance coverages, insurance covers 4 types of death or disability, one being natural death, second being accidental death, and third being permanent disability, fourth being partial disability, permanent partial disability. So it covers the age groups of from 18 to 50 if it is in the natural death, and if it is in accidental or a disability situation, it covers from 18 to 70 age group. So this is what actually scheme about. The major challenges faced while implementing the scheme is that enrollment of all these family members, primary. So basically, identification of the primary breadwinner of this family, and as well as the nominee of the primary breadwinner, and digitizing them. That is a major challenge that we have faced. So and also the training to the field staff. What we observed is, though we can give a group insurance policy to the BPL families, it's again a problem for them to understand what would be the claim process, what documents are required, what for which type of death or disability, what kind of documents need to be produced, and where to procure them. All this is kind of another hurdle for them to understand, since we are talking about the people who are into the below poverty line, who may not be having expertise on these terms. So again, with the help of this GSW's Grama Sachivalayam system, as we already in the grassroots level, we identified some of the functionaries who can closely work with the family closely work with the Andhra Pradesh state households, family members, and then implement the scheme over there. Like basically, collection of the documents, and whenever there is a death or disability is registered, how to get the documents for them, how to help them in getting the claim amount and all. We are using the Grama Sachivalayam system at the ground level. So, but again, when you think about mobilizing or making all the 15,000 Secretariat employees to understand the scheme and training of them, and what kind of documents are needed, again, that was a challenge for us. So, and also when we write about when we talk about the claim settlement process, it's always seen that more or less, in my experience, I would say, it always seen that whenever there is a government thing, or whenever there is not a private person is not involved, whenever it is a government, claim settlement process will be little lagging behind and all. Since we may not be there will not be any proper SLA periods and all. So we clearly mentioned we clearly identified that gap, and then created a SLA period for each and every type of claim that needs to be uploaded and that needs to be resolved, so that it can be given with so that a person, a family, affected family gets the proper amount in time. So for all these challenges, what we have implemented is, for the registration, for the enrollment of the primary bread earners and their nominees, we have created an app, and we have, like Vikas sir was mentioning, about 2.6 lakh volunteers that volunteer force we have at the ground level. We made them register. We created an app. We provided an app to all these 2.6 lakh volunteers, and asked them to go to each and every household, survey them, identify the primary bread earner and the nominee for that primary bread earner. We registered, and we have done that with the help of a volunteer in a span of a week. And also, we have given the assistance to the policy holders in submission of relevant documents that would be needed and all that. For this also, we have conducted monthly trainings, monthly trainings and weekly TCs, teleconferences. We trained the volunteers, welfare assistants and all, so as to understand what would be the claim settlement process for if at all any death occurs, or how to register the death in the portals, how to make that claim visible for each and every person, so that it can be resolved, all the stakeholders, so that it can be resolved in time. So all these things we have created the trainings and all. Also, I forgot to mention one more point. To register the claim and to upload the documents and to settle and to get the money also, we have created a portal which is called YSR Bima portal, where each and every welfare assistant who sits in the secretariat, who is responsible to implement the scheme, is given with the logins, and all other stakeholders, like the next level of approvals. Like, for example, after if a death is registered, the welfare assistant get to know about the death, and they will be registering with the portal, and that claim, along with the claim document, death certificate or whatever the required documents, will be going to the next level for the approval, and after that, at the end of the day, it will be coming to the GSWS department so as to get it approved, and from the GSWS department it will be forwarded to the insurance company for the claim review, and then for the settlement process. So for all this, we have digitized it, and so that there won't be any paper transactions where people have to hold all the folders and all. They don't have to do that. They can clearly do that in the digitized mode. Also, what is seen is that whenever a death is occurred, the amount 10,000 amount is need to be provided as a part of funeral expenses as soon as death is registered. We are also taking that that task by ourselves, and we are providing, before the insurance company provides to the claimant, we are providing the money in at their doorsteps within the hours span of registration of the death at in the secretariat. So here what we have done in the innovation aspect is that so for example, when we are providing the funeral expenses on a daily basis to each and every family randomly whenever the death is registered, so there we have we have implemented this happy card system. We have provided happy cards to each and every secretariat employee at the ground, where they can so for example, when a death is registered, they can as soon as the death is registered in the portal, at 10,000 amount will be transferred to their happy card, the Secretariat employee, and that money can be drawn by the Secretariat employee and can be given to the bereaved families on within a span of hours of the death registration. Also, we have implemented the SLA structure properly, like for each and every claim, like I was mentioning earlier, for in the dashboards as well, whatever the portal dashboards as well, for easy and quick review of the claim settlement process by the insurance company. Also, we have created a claim redressal committee. We have formed a claim redressal committee. The main purpose of this committee is to review the rejected, ambiguous, and all other claims that has been rejected, they need for the approval, basically they need for the approval. So they, in the CRC committee meeting, so the CRC committee meeting will be held on monthly basis, and in each month, whatever the rejected claims, they'll be reviewing it, and both insurance company as well as the nodal officer, the implementing agency, as well as insurance ombudsman one person member is sitting in there, where we'll decide about the claim whether again it should be approved or not. So that kind of process we have placed so as to reduce the rejection rate. Also, we have formed a state level monitoring committee, where this committee meets once in every 6 months or kind of thing, or 6 months, so as to see the progress of the claim settlement process, so as to see the how the performance of the insurance company, insurance intermediary, whoever is doing, how it is happening, and if at all any changes are needed in the MOU for the updation or something, that all will be discussed and that can be monitored in a proper way. This redressal state level monitoring committee is also been placed. So this is the dashboard. I'm giving a glimpse about how we have implemented the SLA structure. For example, in the first thing, total claims received, that is the number of claims registered at our portal. And then what we have put is pending for download by the insurance company. We have kept how many are pending for download, so that need to be reduced if at all it's going out beyond that, beyond the days or something like that, we can track over there itself. And even pending for download by the insurance intermediary, we're also putting that as a column. And how many are downloaded but are under process, how many are downloaded, how many are sent back for the additional requirements, how many are settled, how many are rejected, and how many claims are reviewed by the CRC committee as well, and how many have been settled, and how many have been rejected, and how many have been sent for the ombudsman. All those things have been clearly mentioned in this single dashboard, where you can easily review the performance of the scheme, how it is running. So after all this implementation, what we have understood is all the still now we have given so we have seen that all the BPL families are covered and free of cost. Every assistant, every type of assistance, whether it can be digitization of the documents, upload of the documents, registration of the claim through a call center, everything is every type of assistance is given from the Secretariat itself. And easy disbursement of funeral expenses. All this have helped us in improving the scheme, improving the scheme process and all. So, what impact we have achieved, we can proudly say that we have till in the last 2.5 years, we have observed that around 40,000 families have directly got benefit from this scheme, and around 600 crores has been disbursed by the government of Andhra Pradesh. Till today, for 1 year, like 1.21 crore people are already covered through this scheme. So way forward, what we are thinking is to increase the primary bread enrollment ratio from 1.21 crore to 1.4 crore, so as to cover, there won't be any loose ends kind of a thing. And also we want to see like suicidal deaths, not like a whether we can expand this scheme to the suicidal deaths also, maybe because of the financial issues or something like that. We want to see whether that can be a scope for that. Also, all these payments, whatever the claim amount payments are being done, is through the bank account. So we want to see a feasibility about the Aadhaar-based payment so that it should not, it won't go into the wrong person's hand. The claimant amount don't go to the wrong person's hand. So that is it. Thank you. Anything? I'm open for questions.
Ma'am, I think that you have indicated that it is free of cost to the BPL families. So is the premium amount provided by the state government?
Sir, for natural death, it is provided by the state government directly. For accidental death, we have a group insurance accidental policy coverage, where accidental death, permanent disability, permanent partial disability, all these three types are covered in by the insurance company itself. So we have, for this year, we have Oriental Insurance Company as our accidental death group insurance policy provider. So we have registered all these to 1.21 crore families or PBs, primary bread earners, to this group insurance coverage in the month of June, actually, which will be
Okay,
valid for 1 year.
So
Okay,
government
then
is
you have also indicated, you have also prescribed the SLA for claim settlement.
Yes, sir.
So in case of natural death, what is the time period under SLA?
Sir, it would be around 21 days, sir. So because it has to pass, like the WA has to register and all that, so it is 21 days, sir. For accidental policy, because it's like based on the documents also, RFSL, so that would all be there. So we'll be having different like SLA periods based on the type of claim, sir. So for example, RFSL document is required. It will not be coming very quickly. So keeping that in mind, we have extended that thing. But once that is a back-end work, sir, but once the claim is received to the insurance company, from there onwards, they have to settle the claim in 21 days, sir.
Sure.
So
Definitely. Definitely, it is the speed of the settlement which generates faith in the system. Otherwise, many people will be discouraged that it is taking undue time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good project.
Also, sir, maybe I forgot to clearly mention, all the group insurance coverage premium amount was paid by the government of Andhra Pradesh only, sir.
Yes.
A single penny from family members or citizens.
No, in fact, your that funeral support of rupees 10,000 is also a great support in the untimely death of the beneficiary.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, providing any type of subsidy is not good. Now the government is trying to provide subsidy to BPL people, that the government's decision and it should be implemented. But I could not understand why government is taking up these activities under the scheme. Why not to give it all activities to the insurance companies, so that government should only monitor and should not be a part of the activities.
Sir, what I don't know what happened before me, but then what I have seen is that at a ground level, if you see, what I observed is that the insurance company's presence, if you see at the ground level, it would be very lesser. So on a daily, for example, on a daily basis, around 200 to 300 natural deaths, around 100 at least natural deaths will be registered across the state or something like deaths or disability will be registered. So in order to cater that much of thing, and also I have observed that to upload any claim or to upload any documentation, the insurance company might not be clear about what is needed, and the BPL family will not be able to understand that. That gap is always there, sir, to understand what it need to be submitted and all. So that is why where we took that part, also implementing of that, and we are helping the insurance company to complete the claim settlement as soon as possible, so that they don't disturb the already.
I got it. Your job should have been to fill up that gap.
Yeah.
with the minimum government intervention. What it seems is that whatever the gap is, the government machinery is trying to fill that gap. This means we are not being able to train our insurance companies, or might be you could have taken some better insurance company who can understand whatever work you are doing. They should do that work.
Sir, what you are telling is correct, sir. But based on our previous experience with the insurance companies, what we understood is that we can push them to give the money in 21 days, but they are not competent to deal with people at the field and to deal with citizens in a proper way. So whatever the
Okay,
data,
I understand that. If you can do it, why can't they do it? Because ultimately the money which whatever subsidy you are providing, that is going to them.
correct, sir. They would need to set up a PMU, which they didn't accept. So that's why we had set a PMU to deal with it. Actually, the insurance companies were not interested to set a PMU. They said, if we get the data and somebody can give us that SLA period, we will do that. So we had to set up a PMU for that.
So also, sir, to mention that this is the largest people like covered under single scheme, sir. All are unorganized, all belong to unorganized sector where you can't have a proper where you can't give training to both ends, like training to the insurance company. What we have observed, because of which we took all the implementation part.
Ma'am, I got it. The government's job is to make policies and not started implementing it. To provide the scheme is good, no doubt about it, but you need to find out a way whereby you should engage those agencies which can execute in a better way, because slowly the government machinery will not be able to deliver the things in a very optimal way, in a very better way. So anyway, good idea, but you try to think in a different way, because the award is usually given for innovation. If you start implementing the things and yourself, it is not a good idea. Normally the award is given to for innovative ideas.
Got it, sir. Got the
Okay.
point that you are saying.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you. Otherwise, your scheme is very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.